Have you ever felt like your mind is always racing? Like time is slipping through your fingers while you get lost in thoughts about the past and worries about the future? We're so busy searching, analyzing, and waiting for the next moment that we forget the most important thing. The present moment is all we truly have. What if I told you there's a way to break free from this mental prison? A way to live with more ease, peace, and clarity simply by waking up to the present moment. Today, you're going to discover how to free yourself from the endless stream of thoughts and open up to the deep transformation that happens when you simply be. But before we continue, hit that like button and subscribe to Higher Self, because at the end of this video, I'll reveal the most powerful insight of all, the one that could change the way you see life forever. Now, take a deep breath and come with me on this journey of awakening. Let's begin. The art of walking with mindfulness. Next time you're moving from one place to another, I invite you to see and listen in a new way. Free yourself from the need to analyze, judge, and interpret every sensation, every passing thought. Just observe. Just listen. Without the constant weight of the mind, without the compulsion to classify every experience as something we like or dislike, we've become so used to labeling everything we feel and experience, we create an endless cycle of inner conflict, not only with situations, but also with the people around us. But what if this resistance was just a habit that can be broken? And here's the most extraordinary part. We don't need to do anything to break it. All we have to do is allow each moment to be exactly as it is. When we accept what is, we touch a deeper level within ourselves, a level where our inner peace no longer depends on the mind's judgment of what is good or bad. When we say yes to life's circumstances and embrace the present as it unfolds, we discover a true, deep, and unshakable peace. In this video, we'll explore the transformative journey of surrendering to the now, of letting go of the constant need for control, and of embracing the serenity that arises when we simply allow life to flow. Untangling the knots of attachment. In the search for peace, joy, and freedom, we often find ourselves caught in the invisible webs of attachment. Our mind clings to thoughts, desires, and expectations, weaving a complex labyrinth that clouds the simplicity of being. But what if we could undo this web? What if we released the weight of our thoughts and surrendered completely to the present moment? It is in this act of letting go that we uncover a powerful truth. True peace doesn't come from endless seeking, but from the release of attachment. True joy is not in the future, but in the now. True freedom is not about gaining more, but about letting go of what holds us back. Attachment and the illusion of control. Attachment keeps us trapped in the endless pursuit of external validation and personal fulfillment. We convince ourselves that our happiness and self-worth depend on achievements, possessions, or specific relationships. But this chase has no end. The more we run after happiness in the future, the more it slips through our fingers, like a mirage dissolving on the horizon. But there is another way, a path where we don't chase endlessly, but instead allow. A path where we don't try to possess, but simply experience. The key to true freedom. What would happen if, just for a moment, you let everything go, if you released the weight of what should be and simply allowed yourself to be? This moment is already enough. There is nothing to achieve. There is nothing to fix. Peace, freedom, and joy are not in the future. They have always been here, waiting for you to stop searching and simply realize. And so, the question remains, are you ready to surrender? The path to liberation. The simplicity of just being. There is another way, a path of liberation, a path that reveals itself when we embrace the simplicity of just being. It all begins with recognizing the impermanent nature of all things. Clinging to what is transient is a formula for suffering. The more we hold on to rigid expectations, the more we become prisoners of frustration and fear. But when we let go, when we allow life to unfold without the need for absolute control, we create space for the natural flow of existence, for the unexpected, for the mysterious rhythm of life. The silence beyond thoughts. Another fundamental aspect of this journey is breaking free from the tyranny of the mind. Our mind never stops. It generates an endless stream of thoughts, judgments, and interpretations. But what if we could simply observe these thoughts without getting lost in them? What if we learned to witness them with detachment, without allowing them to dominate us? When we develop this ability, we free ourselves from the control of the mind and access a higher wisdom, a truth that exists beyond the limits of rational thought. And it is in this space that we discover something extraordinary, the beauty of the now, the art of fully inhabiting the present moment. By diving into the here and now, we connect with the very essence of life. We awaken to the infinite richness of each moment, experiencing the depth of existence with an open heart and a free mind. This moment, the ever-complete now. The now has always been and will always be complete in itself. There is nothing to do. Nothing needs to be interpreted. Simply let life be. Simply allow it to flow through you without the constant interference of the mind. And in doing so, you will find something rare and powerful, a serenity beyond understanding, a harmony with the inherent perfection of existence. In the realm of thoughts, so much suffering arises from the illusion that every idea that appears in our mind is an absolute truth. But the reality is that it is not external situations that make us unhappy. What causes suffering are the thoughts and interpretations we project onto those situations. And when we understand this fundamental truth, we become free. We realize that we are more than the noise of the mind. We are the silent space behind every thought. We are the love and joy that have always been there, hidden beneath layers of pain and illusion. The great journey beyond time. In the grand tapestry of life, there is a calling, an invitation to step out of the shadows of the past and the future, to surrender completely to the radiant embrace of the present moment. It is here, in this sacred space, that true liberation awaits us. And at the heart of this journey, there is something essential, the release of the ego and its insatiable need for control. The ego, that persistent companion, whispering stories of separation and attachment, always wants to shape our experiences according to its own desires. It makes us believe that happiness is always somewhere else, in something else, in some other moment. But the ego is blind to a deeper truth. It doesn't realize that we already carry within us everything we seek in the external world. And what happens when we let go of this illusion? When we stop resisting? When we cease identifying with the endless voice of the mind? A profound transformation takes place. We become observers of life, free from the burden of limiting stories. Our perception shifts, and in place of the restless mind, something new emerges. Pure presence, a presence so alive, so deep, that it replaces any constructed sense of identity. And in this state of simplicity, we discover something unexpected. Life doesn't need to be explained, only lived. The present moment doesn't need to be changed, only felt. Peace has always been here, waiting for us to stop searching. By embracing the power of presence, we transcend the limitations of the ego. And finally, we connect with the infinite within us. Free yourself from the ego and access universal wisdom. The endless pursuit of external achievements, validation, and success often makes us forget where true fulfillment resides. It is not in the future, nor in something we still need to attain. It lives within us, in the deepest intimacy with our own being. It is only when we surrender completely to the present moment that we discover the infinite source of peace, joy, and authenticity that has always been there. But living in the now requires something essential: inner attunement, sensitivity to the subtle whispers of the present, a conscious presence that flows through every breath and resonates within our very being. When we awaken to this presence, something extraordinary happens. We become one with the flow of life, dancing in harmony with existence itself, and this dance leads us to a profound invitation. An invitation to step away from the path of the ego, the illusion of control, and the art of letting go. Freeing yourself from the ego is not an easy task. It requires us to let go of our need for control, our fixed identities, and our attachment to outcomes. It invites us to surrender to the natural cycles of life with unshakable trust in the wisdom of the universe. And it is in this surrender that we find what we have been searching for all along: true freedom. A liberation from the chains of fear, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. When we release the need to be special, we become free to simply be, without the pressure of proving anything to anyone. Peace does not come from being someone, it comes from simply being. The essence of meditation, for example, is not found in action, but in silence. It exists in the spaces between words, in the awareness that arises when we simply observe and listen. And the most surprising part, there is nothing else to do. Cultivating this inner stillness awakens the true intelligence that resides within us. It is this deep calm that should guide our words and actions. Who are we beyond form? In moments of silence, we reconnect with the essence of our being. Before we temporarily took on this physical and mental form called a person, we were something greater, and when this form dissolves, we continue to be. What we are cannot be defined by the mind. What we are cannot be reduced to a thought. The irony of life is that when we stop demanding that everything be a certain way, all things and situations naturally fall into harmony. And sometimes there is no answer that can satisfy. There are moments in life when no explanation is enough. When someone in despair comes to us, when uncertainty hangs over us, we often feel powerless in the face of not having an answer. But it is precisely there that true power reveals itself. Because when we accept that we don't know, when we let go of the need to understand everything, something extraordinary happens. The power of surrender, when the ego dissolves. When we let go of the struggle for control, we create space for a greater intelligence to operate through us. Answers come when we stop resisting. Clarity arises when we embrace the mystery. This is why, when we relax and stop fighting against life, everything around us seems to flow more effortlessly. Our actions are no longer driven by the ego. Our personal will surrenders to a greater will, and in doing so, we allow the wisdom of the universe to express itself through us. The path of right action. In Buddhism, this state is called right action, an action that does not arise from the egoic mind, but from a higher state of consciousness. But for this kind of action to emerge, we must first leave the ego behind. When we transcend the ego, we create a space for higher wisdom to guide us. This is a transformational process, one that requires humility, surrender, and trust. Becoming the space of awareness. In this awakening, the self no longer identifies with the body, thoughts, or emotions. We recognize ourselves as something beyond all of it. We become the very space of consciousness itself, the present moment as a portal to freedom. Now, observe this moment. Pay attention to how your mind tries to label, categorize, and interpret it. Notice how this constant stream of judgments and thoughts creates resistance, tension, and suffering. But as you witness this process, something subtle happens. You step outside the cycle of the mind, and in that instant, you discover something precious. The present can be exactly as it is. There is no need to fight it. Peace arises when we stop resisting. Let go and allow life to flow. Accept this moment exactly as it is. Release the story your mind wants to create about it. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means stopping the fight against life and allowing it to flow through you. When you surrender, your identity is no longer tied to reactions and judgments. Your self dissolves, and all that remains is pure awareness, the space where life simply happens. A question for you. What if you let go of the weight of the ego, the worries, and the need to understand everything? What would be left? Maybe a freedom you've never experienced before. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe to Higher Self so that more people can access this wisdom and awaken to their true essence. In the comments, share your experience. Have you ever felt the power of surrender? What happens when you stop resisting life and simply allow it to flow? A simple invitation. In the next few days, try walking with full awareness. Observe without judgment. Breathe without rush. Feel life unfolding within you in the exact moment it happens. Now, as we reach the end of this revealing expedition, I want to express my deepest gratitude to you for staying with us until the end. Your dedication and curiosity are the fuel that drives us to explore, demystify, and share these intriguing stories. I want to share something special with you. As a fan of the Map of Higher Self channel, you are about to embark on a unique journey of self-discovery and mental formation. I present to you the Map of Higher Self, a revolutionary ebook that will redefine your mental reality. As the creator of this content and leader of the Map of Higher Self channel, I'm sharing my deepest experiences and valuable lessons with you. Each chapter of this ebook is a reflection of my journey, filled with practical lessons I've lived and transformed into wisdom. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life. Click the link in the pinned comment and start your journey towards self-knowledge and positivity today. Imagine yourself for a moment as one of the ancient explorers who ventured into unknown territories, guided only by the flame of curiosity and the thirst for knowledge. Every piece of information, every symbol deciphered, is like a map leading us deeper into the labyrinth of the unknown. And just like those explorers, you too are now a little closer to the truth, carrying with you a new understanding of the forces that shape our world. Your presence here is not just a personal achievement, but a valuable contribution to a vibrant community of curious and knowledge-seeking individuals. Every view, every comment, every like is a step we take together toward a deeper and collective understanding. You are not just a spectator, you are a partner in this journey of discovery. So, as we close this chapter, I invite you to reflect on today's revelations and prepare for the next steps. We will continue unraveling secrets, questioning established truths, and exploring the mysteries around us. Your participation is essential, not just for the growth of this channel, but for the expansion of our horizon of knowledge. Until the next discovery. And remember, the real power lies in questioning and understanding what is beyond the visible. And before you go, don't miss these 2 videos I've selected especially for you. They're packed with deep knowledge and fascinating discoveries that you'll love. Click on one of them and continue your journey of self-discovery and the pursuit of wisdom with the amazing content our channel has to offer.